نحن أصحاب المعاني لسنا أصحاب الألفاظ. الألفاظ الجوفاء لا تجدي. انظر إلى المعنى.
So when you invent this kalam, now there have to be many other false principles you innovate in order to defend that original innovation. So what are these other false principles that were born as a result? When I say them, you will recognize them. Does somebody want to have a guess? Does somebody want to have a guess of an example of innovation? No, that's not a principle. That's just a resultant belief. Let me give you an example. Brilliant, excellent. We cannot accept ahad hadith. Mutawatir and ahad, the distinction. Right. Who brought this distinction? The Mu'tazila. Why did they bring this distinction? Why did they invent this principle of saying that mutawatir, we can accept it because it amounts to qat'i, it is definitive, and ahad is dhanni, it is speculative knowledge. Why did they invent this principle? Why? To deny the ahadith of the attributes. Because the ahadith of the attributes does not agree with their original foundation, which is what? Allah is not a jism, Allah is not a body. He cannot have attributes, He cannot have names, He cannot have actions. He does not make istiwa, He does not descend to the lowest heaven, He does not have ilm, He does not have basar. Why did they invent? Allah does not have a hand, face. This principle was invented in order to support the original innovation. So they said, mutawatir, we'll accept, and even that's not strictly true, they don't even accept the mutawatir. And the ahad are speculative, is speculative knowledge, we can't accept it because it doesn't give us definitive knowledge, and we are sinful if we believe in it. This is one of those principles that were a consequence of that original innovation. Okay, another one. Can somebody give me another one? Okay, you mean here that kalam nafsi and the kalam, this is a resultant belief. I wouldn't count it as a principle in itself, but it's kind of close. But I'll tell you something that you're close to. Another principle is, they said in the Quran there is majaz. There is haqiqah and majaz. That there is that which is really intended and that which is allegorical. Who brought this principle? Did the Sahaba speak of this principle? Did the Imams of the Salaf speak this principle? Where did it come from? These people invented this principle. Why did they say it? To fight against the verses of the attributes. Right? The verses of the attributes are majaz. We can't believe in them. So why are they inventing these principles? Why? To support the original bid'ah, the original innovation. Right? So now we have mutawatir and ahad. We know why they invented this. The majaz and the haqiqah. We know why they invented this as well. Another one? Excellent, that was number 2 in my list. Al-aql, that the aql is superior over the naql. That the intellect comes ahead of revelation. What do they mean by this? Let me tell you what they mean by this. What they meant by this is that we are arguing with the atheists. We found a way to prove Allah exists. What is this way that what is this method that we've used that proves Allah exists? It is that we say that when we look in the creation, everything we see is either a body or it is an attribute in a body. Let's take a man, for example. Let's take a leaf, for example. We have a leaf, and the leaf is colored green, and it has a taste. How did the color green get in the leaf? Can the color green exist on its own? Do you ever see the color green walking down the street? Has anybody ever seen the color green walking down the street? You haven't seen the color green walking down the street? Likewise, in a man has a headache. Do you see a headache walking down the street? No. Because these things can only exist in bodies. And what they mean by bodies, anything which has bulk, anything which has extension. So this is from Aristotle, that in the whole of the universe, we only have 2 types of things. Either a body or its attributes. So they argued and said, look, how did these attributes get into these things? They can't have got into them, How did the color green get into a leaf? Did the color green come and create itself and put itself into a leaf? No. This shows that the color green is something that came to be after not being. Do you understand that? It came to be after not being. Then they said that because the leaf itself has an attribute that came to be, then the leaf itself must have came to be after not being. Right? So this is now they're trying to philosophize and go backwards and say, so this means that anything has attributes, it means that it originated and it came from nothing. And so the philosopher said, okay, we agree with you, this is a proof, okay, we accept this proof is correct. Now describe your Lord to us, describe Allah to us. How is Allah described in your Quran? Is that the meaning of ahad and wahid in the Arabic language? The answer is no. So what they began to do is they began to take words in the Arabic language which are mentioned in the Quran and give them philosophical meanings, meanings which come from the language of those people. And then they began to use those words in speaking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So likewise jism, the word jism, and the word wahid, and the word ahad, one. Likewise the word qadim, and likewise the word muhdath. So with all these examples they began to bring meanings which are not known in the Arabic language. This is another method that was introduced in order to support and help the original innovation. Also we have the usul and furu'. This is another example. We already mentioned at the beginning. Usul and furu'. This is from the bid'ah of the Mu'tazila. So anyway, the point in mentioning all of this is, do you understand what's going on? Do you understand what happened when this kalam came, this poison came, and this big original foundation that they had, that Allah cannot be a jism? From that original innovation, they had to deny Allah is above the throne, Allah will be seen in the hereafter, Allah descends to the lowest heaven, Allah ascends over His throne, Allah has names, Allah has attributes, which is all found in the Quran and Sunnah. Then to support that innovation, they brought all these false principles. Mutawatir, ahad, majaz, haqiqi, allegorical, so on and so forth. Zahir, ta'wil, tafweed. So is everybody clear about this? Is everybody clear about what is going on? Is everybody... Because this is crucial for you to understand for tomorrow's lesson. You have to really grasp this to understand tomorrow's lesson.